In this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step plan to develop a David Goggins level consistency without feeling that weird resistance when you're about to work, when you're about to do that habit you keep on missing, and so you can basically stay consistent forever. You see, I went from someone who was extremely unproductive, who was not consistent with things like the gym, working on his business, studying, or anything like this, to someone who can work for 10 hours a day without really any resistance and actually enjoy the work he's doing. I basically haven't missed a day for over 100 days now, and I'll show you some proof on the screen obviously so you can see that I'm not lying. But before I go over the step-by-step plan, I want to tell you a story. It's around 8:30 p.m. and I'm in the garage gym, and it's a cardio day, so I normally just go on the punching bag and instead I don't really do any weights or anything like that. So here I am with the punching bag swinging right in front of me. I'm sweating super hard, my hand's starting to bleed because I've literally just been doing it bare knuckle, and I've been doing this for around 30 minutes, and that is a really long time for me. I was originally going to exit the gym after 30 minutes because I've got to do my other business work, but I was like, no, let's just carry on and hit the 1 hour mark at least. But there's a part of my mind that is coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse. But I'm telling myself I'm way too tired, I've been working all day, it's a Sunday, why don't we just relax for a bit? I've got this banging headache that is just like completely ruining my workout. There's really no point being here. I've got all these excuses inside my mind. Let's go and watch some Andrew Huberman podcast instead. So what do you think I do next? Do you think I carry on hitting the punching bag with my bare knuckles while it's bleeding, like my knuckles are really just hurting so bad? Or do you think I step out of the gym, I go back inside, and I go and watch an Andrew Huberman podcast? Well, I put my shoes back on, I put my hoodie back on, I grab the garage keys, and I go and lock the door. I go and exit the gym and I'm back inside. Not only did I not stick to my word and complete that punching bag workout, the cardio that I keep on putting off, but I didn't even do the easiest task I was telling my mind to do. That's how bad my discipline was. And I remember as I was just like collapsing on my bed, I felt this big wave of just guilt because I knew I should have done this cardio. I've been kind of putting it off for like weeks now. Now you can probably relate to that story. Maybe you procrastinate every single day. Maybe you just struggle to stay consistent even though you always tell yourself the night before that tomorrow's going to change, that you're going to be super productive the next day, but it never happens. I've managed to solve this problem for myself, and it's not to do with what these random gurus tell you to do, like, I don't know, Pomodoro technique, or like wake up at 4 a.m. with a black coffee and just like push through the pain, because that didn't work for me. But just before I tell you the step-by-step plan that completely changed my consistency and discipline, if you want to get advice from me and get a ton of free resources, you can join the Discord below. So as I was lying on my bed, I've got this giant headache, right? I've just missed my workout. I'd obviously decided to just doom scroll on YouTube, but I came across a specific video that would change my consistency forever. And it was called Trial by Fire: How to Do the Painful Work by Charlie Morgan. And it was to do with the idea of resistance in your day-to-day life. Resistance is kind of like that feeling that you get when you really want to do a habit, but then you feel like tons of excuses just come up. You just don't want to do it anymore, so you end up doom scrolling on YouTube like I did with the story I told you at the start. This resistance is always going to appear in our life. Regardless of who you are, whether you're David Goggins Jr., you're still going to face this resistance. And this feeling of resistance can appear in different forms. So for example, it can appear in like burnout, it can appear in addicted to instant gratification, it can appear in fear of effort. There's multiple different excuses your mind can come up with that will stop you from completing a habit. And if we can find this one emotion or this one reason why we struggle to do the habit, we can start to become super consistent with it because we will just eliminate it. So for the story at the start, the reason why I went back inside and I didn't complete the workout, like for thousands of days that I didn't complete this workout, it was due to a fear of effort. My brain was so addicted to comfort, so addicted to staying in its comfort zone that it didn't want to experience any discomfort. Because if we simply just think to like the tribal times, right, all our primal brain wants to do is to survive. And when it's facing discomfort or a possible chance that it might face some fear or something like that, your brain is going to find every single excuse to not do that thing. So what I want you to do is just think to like one habit in your life that you're really struggling to stay consistent with. This can be the gym, this can be working on your business, this can be studying, this can be anything that you struggle to stay consistent with. And I want you to think, what was the emotions you were feeling right before you just threw in a towel and you didn't do the habit? So it could be fear of effort, you didn't want to put in the hours, you didn't want to put in the reps, so you didn't do the habit, and you just simply play video games, for example. If you're struggling to find this emotion, there's a simple practice I learned from Socrates, and it is called Socratic questioning or Socratic reasoning. So simply just ask yourself why until you come down to like the real cause of why you did not do the habit. So for example, it could be You didn't go to the gym. Why? Because your muscles hurt. Why? Because you were scared of putting in the effort. So that's just a quick example. Like, it can be anything. Just try to locate the one emotion or the one feeling that you got that caused you to procrastinate and not stay consistent with this one habit. Now, the reason why I told you to do that exercise and I didn't say, right, drop down and give me 10 push-ups to level up your discipline is because everyone has different problems and they have different root causes to why they do not do certain habits. Some people fear judgment, so they don't go to the gym. Some people fear effort, so they don't work on their business. So if I just gave you like one solution, it wouldn't make sense because it wouldn't solve your problem probably. Now, the next thing I did to actually level up my consistency and basically stay consistent every single day for months and months and months and probably even a year now is to find a way how to actually combat this emotion that you're feeling. So maybe if you have a fear of effort of going to the gym, what you could start doing is do smaller workouts and slowly level that up so it slowly becomes part of your comfort zone. And what I've done is I've made a procrastination worksheet. It's literally the step-by-step process to how I cured my procrastination and, you know, and missing some days where I could have just stayed consistent. So make sure you grab that and just follow it if you're a bit confused. Now I'm going to move on to the second and final lesson that changed my consistency forever and it allowed me to develop this weird desire to just work all the time. And it simply is to build a routine you can rely on every single day. And I'm not talking about one of those really fancy morning routines that take like 5 hours of the day, or those super hard, complex routines that you struggle to stay consistent with. I'm talking about a simple routine where there's like 4 to 5 things in your day. That's the only thing there is. And the reason why just having a simple routine works is your brain slowly gets used to this routine. It slowly internalizes it and it starts to become part of the comfort zone, which is what we want, because then we'll be able to stay consistent forever. Because that's just things like a TV show, for example. If you've ever watched like SpongeBob or like one of those cartoon shows, right, they always have the same repetitive thing. You know, they've got the same story structure, they've got the same episode structure, there's always that same intro at the start, there's always that same outro. The reason why they do this is because our brains love repetition. Because when we start to become familiar with something, we start to get used to it and we're going to start to want it more. And it's the exact same thing with your routine and staying consistent. When we actually develop this internal routine where we know exactly what we're doing, like for example, you do your deep work at 6 AM in the morning and you work until 8 AM. It will be so easy to show up. And of course right now it looks super daunting, it looks super hard to stay consistent, right? But I guarantee if you just right now pause the video, make that routine, try to reduce the resistance by getting rid of that negative emotion associated with the habits, you will stay consistent. It's a foregone conclusion because the exact same thing happened to me. The only thing I did to go from someone who is super undisciplined to someone who can work for 10 hours a day, go to the gym consistently every single day, 7 days a week, while still in school, is simply by removing the resistance and building a super easy routine that I can follow every single day. So those are the 2 realizations that I had, and I guarantee if you follow these 2 steps, you will change your productivity, you will change your consistency. When before you looked at like people like David Goggins as crazy, how does he stay consistent that long? How does he work this hard? And you'll change that to thinking like, how is everyone else not consistent? This is literally the only thing you need, okay? So before I go, if you want to get personal advice from me or you want to get access to a ton of free resources, click the first link in the description to join my free community. I look forward to seeing you there. I hope you do all the actionable steps in this video. Grab the worksheet that I mentioned at the start. Goodbye, have a nice day, you and Albert in the face again. Goodbye. Whoa.